Hello, I'm Cara Vorderman and welcome to Perfect 10. And best of all, it's Friday! Hooray! It's Good Friday, so only 2 more days until we can crack open our Easter eggs. I hope you've bought me some. Have you? No. Anyway, I'm here Monday to Friday with 10 brand new questions every day, so make sure you subscribe, you follow, and you like to get the next episode as soon as it drops. 10 questions, 10 points, all done in just 10 minutes. Well done to everyone who's played along with us this week. Just 10 minutes a day with us, and that's enough to make you feel sharper and smarter going into the weekend. So if you've missed any episodes this week, go back and give them a listen. That way you can catch up with the rest of us. As always, I've got 10 tricky puzzles and brain teasers up my sleeve that will educate, entertain, and irritate you today. Okay, at the end of yesterday's podcast, I asked you which British comedy actor is an anagram of gnome pigs. Well, it was the star of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Mission Impossible, and many, many more, Simon Pegg. Wonderful. But while that was for fun, it's now time to play for points. Can you end the week with a perfect 10 score? Here come the questions. Question 1, as always, is your starter for a perfect 10. If 7 Ds in a W means 7 days in a week, then what does 90 Ds in an RA mean? As always, I'll give you all the answers at the end. Question 2 is our hearsay round and an audio mystery. You're about to hear some sounds which relate to a well-known phrase or saying. What is it?
Silence in court, silence! Today I pass sentence on a book, and simply by the appearance of its dust jacket, I find it guilty. You can't do that!
Say what you hear, and you can't go far wrong. I think this is a good lesson for all of us. Question 3 is Carol lateral thinking, and today it's all about numbers and animals. There are 100 pairs of animals in the zoo. If 2 pairs of babies are born for every animal, how many animals will the zoo now have? You can do this, I promise. Getting some big numbers. But if you can, grab a pen and paper and work it out. You'll feel great when you get the right answer. It will be worth it, remember, on your score. Time now to put your memory to the test. I'm going to play you an audio clip. All you need to do is listen and try and retain as much information as possible because there will be a question to follow. Here we go.
These simple-to-make cupcakes are perfect for a birthday party, a special event, or just as a tea time treat. Here's what you need. 120 grams of softened butter, 120 grams of caster sugar, 120 grams of self-raising flour, 2 eggs, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. For the icing, you'll need another 140 grams of softened butter, 275 grams of icing sugar, and a couple of tablespoons of milk. And if you want to personalise them, a couple of drops of food colouring.
I have to say I love our Friday food memory games. They were so delicious. Anyway, I hope you were listening there because here comes your question 4. How many grams of icing sugar does this recipe for cupcakes recommend? It was all in the clip, but can you recall the information you need to answer that question? Don't forget to send us your riddles and puzzles to @Perfect10Carol on Instagram and TikTok. And we love testing the rest of the Perfect 10 family with them, so please do it. And if you're playing in the office or competing against your family at home around the smart speaker, snap a picture, please. Send us a photo. We love seeing all of our tenors playing along. Wherever you are, it's great. Right, moving on. Time for questions 5, 6 and 7. The frivolous, familiar and fun part of the show. Here is your question 5, and we're heading up to Bonnie, Scotland. Which city is furthest north? Edinburgh, Inverness or Aberdeen? Moving on now to question 6. In children's literature, who has 3 sisters called Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail? Question 7. And this one's all about our favourite Friends. Which character said the last ever line in the TV show Friends? It was an iconic finale that saw the series come to an end after 10 seasons. But which character uttered the final word of the show? Question 8 is 1 in, 1 out, so see if you can score another point with this. Which letter can you change in the word bouncy, B-O-U-N-C-Y, to make a type of chocolate bar? Question 9 now, and it's, I know this, a potentially frustrating question, and the answer will be on the tip of your tongue, but with a bit of brain power, you should be able to find that answer. Hans Geiger created an electronic instrument used for measuring what? And here we are at question 10, the final question of the day, one last push for the week. As always, it's our daily riddle. There is a basket containing 5 apples. How do you divide the apples among 5 children so that each child has 1 apple while 1 apple remains in the basket? And there you have it. That's today's Perfect 10, another week of brain training in the bag. Take a breath, give your brain a cool down, go and make a cuppa if you fancy it, because the answers are coming up shortly. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss next week's questions. And please follow us on social media at Perfect 10 Carol, where you'll find loads of bonus questions from Perfect 10 HQ. Right, for the last time this week, here are your answers. Question 1. I started with this. If 7 Ds in a W means 7 days in a week, then what does 90 Ds in an RA mean? And the answer is 90 degrees in a right angle. They're getting trickier, those, but well done if you got the right answer. Question 2 was hearsay. I asked you which well-known phrase or saying was hidden in these sounds.
Silence in court, silence. Today I pass sentence on a book, and simply by the appearance of its dust jacket, I find it guilty.
Say what you hear. The answer is, don't judge a book by its cover. Wise words indeed. Question 3, Carol lateral thinking, and we were counting babies at the zoo. There are 100 pairs of animals in the zoo. If 2 pairs of babies are born for every animal, how many animals will the zoo now have? The answer is 1,000 animals. 100 pairs of animals equals 200 animals in total. Then 2 pairs of babies are born for each individual animal. That's 4 for each animal. Therefore, 800 babies. So 800 babies plus the original 200 animals equals a zoo with 1,000 animals in total. See, you just need to unpack it a little, and the answer presents itself. Question 4 was our memory question, and as always on a Friday, it was a foodie one. I asked you, how many grams of icing sugar does this recipe for cupcakes recommend? Did you remember? Well, the answer was 275 grams of icing sugar. Into the 3 frivolous, familiar and fun questions now. Question 5. Which city is furthest north, Edinburgh, Inverness or Aberdeen? And the answer is Inverness. Question 6. In children's literature, who has 3 sisters called Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail? It is, of course, Peter Rabbit. Beatrix Potter originally self-published The Tale of Peter Rabbit in 1901, but it was officially released in 1902, and within a year it was in its 6th printing. When Potter heard that it had sold over 56,000 copies, she said, "The public must be fond of rabbits. What an appalling quantity of Peter." Question 7. Which character said the last ever line in the TV show Friends? The answer is, it was Chandler, way back in 2004, whose final word was, where? In response to Rachel suggesting they all get coffee. Question 8 was 1 in, 1 out. Which letter can you change in the word bouncy to make a type of chocolate bar? Change the letter C for a letter T to get a delicious coconut bounty. Go on, treat yourself. It's Friday and it's Easter nearly. Question 9 was, I know this, but did you? I asked. Hans Geiger created an electronic instrument used for measuring what? Well, Hans Geiger invented the Geiger counter, an instrument used to measure radiation. Question 10, your final daily riddle of the week. There is a basket containing 5 apples. How do you divide the apples among 5 children so that each child has 1 apple while 1 apple remains in the basket? It's simple. You give the last child the basket with the final remaining apple. How did you do? Did you score a perfect 10? We'd love to see pictures of your scorecards, please. So send us yours too at Perfect10Carol on social media. The funnier, the better. We all love a laugh, don't we? We'll be posting our favourites, so get snapping, please. Join our Perfect 10 family by heading over to perfect10.uk and signing up to our brand new newsletter. Subscribers will get access to regular updates, behind-the-scenes content, and exclusive competitions. Yes, you can win actual things. Come and join the Perfect 10 family. And remember to subscribe, very important to subscribe to the podcast. And follow us on YouTube and across our social media channels so you don't miss out on any of our rounds or any of our daily bonus questions. If you haven't already, come and join the fun over there. I'll be back on Monday next week for a whole new set of Perfect 10s. 10 questions, 10 points, all done in 10 minutes. I'm Carol Vorderman, and that was my Perfect 10. I hope you have a perfect Easter.